Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new, kindly subscribe and hit the notification bell so that anytime I'll be posting something new, you'll be able to get a notification of the same. So today I have amazing knowledge that I want to share with you guys. Something about proof of how nature takes over abandoned places in amazing ways. We'll get right into it. Nature has always had its own plans which are not dependent of human desires. People do a lot of things to fulfill their desires and making life easy. These efforts usually affect nature, but nature keeps on reclaiming the space trespassed. Nature naturally merges with surroundings. Just think of this: if civilization on Earth collapses, then how would the world look like? Most people think abandoned sites have dingy buildings that are covered in graffiti, stale smells, dim lighting, and crumbling infrastructure. Let me amaze you with the opposite of that. Here are 10 abandoned places nature has taken back in the most beautiful ways. Let's start with number 10. Second Vallon Demlin. Sorrento sits on top of a cliff that overlooks the Bay of Naples. Just a short walk from the main square, Piers Tassel is an old abandoned flour sawmill in Second Vallon Demlin. This historic valley has been completely devoured by nature. The pathways, stairs, and the mill itself has been taken over by vegetation. The overgrown vines make the mill appear as though it is a fairy tale tower in an enchanted forest. Talk of enchanted forest and houses. Wow. You know the feeling. At number 9, we look at Komanskop in Namibia. Namibia is a beautiful country in southwestern Africa, famous for its desert along the Atlantic coast as well as its high concentration of cheetahs. Situated in the middle of the desert is Komanskop, a ghost town. Yeah. The town was once a wealthy area due to its diamond mining industry back in the 90s. The area derived its name from a man named Kolema, who got stuck at the site with his ox wagon and consequently died of thirst. The final residents officially started the town between 1956 and 1960s, leaving the settlement to be reclaimed by several bursts of sandstorms over the years. Just look at the view, how spectacular it is. Okay. At number 8, we look at Tunnel of Love in Klevan, which is in Ukraine. Located just outside the town of Klevan, Ukraine resides a railway that local residents named after its charming characteristics. The sun brightly shines its way through the plethora of leaves and vines that have twisted its way, forming an immaculate pathway that goes for miles. This tunnel is an incredibly romantic and dreamy setting for lovers to stroll down. So if you have a lover and you are thinking about some romantic place to take her or him, here is a location you can try here. The tunnel was actually shaped with the help of the occasional train that passes through. Imagine walking in this. How spectacular. At number 7, we look at from Angkor Wat in Cambodia. This is the most popular and largest temples. It is prominent for its massively overgrown tree roots that have dropped over the temple's decaying walls. This Buddhist temple is now mostly impassable through most corridors, as tremendous beyond trees have intertwined its way through the temple walls. The temple has been almost completely swallowed by the surrounding jungle, with roots and flora consuming the ancient walls. Just look at how amazing this looks. Okay. At number 6, Goki Island in China. This, the mountainous lands in the province of Zhejiang, is the abandoned fishing settlement of the Hawan on the island of Goki. The fishing settlement is located at the mouth of Yangtze River. The fishing industry began to slowly diminish, letting the natural surrounding to swallow its settlement, leaving the buildings to surrender itself to nature. Ivy and moss wrap itself around every surface, leaving the town rich in greenery. This is just so beautiful. Number 5, we will look at New World Mall in Bangkok, Thailand. This shopping center shut down in 1997 due to issues with building regulations. Over the years, nature has slowly taken over the once busy shopping center. Now, having been abandoned for years, the mall has been completely reclaimed by nature. Upon approaching the abandoned shopping center, visitors can see the dark, crumbling building, an unwelcoming sight that holds the incredible experience once you enter. The mall has flooded up to 500 meters due to incomplete demolition of the site. The area was swarmed by mosquitoes, causing a nuisance for nearby vendors. Eventually, locals decided to add fish into the newly created pond in the mall to deal with the mosquito issue. Over the years, the fish have multiplied in number, creating an extraordinary location for people who love photography. At number 4, let us look at Floating Forest in Sydney, which is in Australia. Not too far from the downtown Sydney was an abandoned ship, now overgrown with a lush of vegetation. The ship is over 100 years old and now covered a lot of bushes. The abandoned ship is a remarkable sight. A floating lush forest in the middle of Sydney Harbour contrasts stunningly against the lively city in the distance. With greenery sprouting out from every gap, it is hard not to be intrigued by its beauty. At number 3, let us look at power plant IM, Belgium. While Belgium is famous for its waffles, beer and chocolate, it also offers some of the most beautiful landscapes and destinations for travelers. In Charleroi, there is an abandoned IM. This cooling tower was constructed in 1921. It was the biggest cooling plant in Belgium and the main source of energy for surrounding areas, with the ability to cool 500,000 gallons of water within minutes. High carbon dioxide emission and great peace protesters led to the power plant closure in 2007. Now the plant is completely abandoned, leaving only the brave to trespass its permanently closed doors. Exploring this abandoned site is like entering into space. Within the plant are moss-covered grounds with an endless metal wall towering above. Number 2, let us look at Devil's Bridge in Germany. Fanciful spot for adventurers and photography lovers. It was built in 1860. It gained its name from the shape of the bridge, a perfect semicircle that reflects perfectly into the still water below, as if sinking into the earth itself. The Devil's Bridge can accommodate some seriously charming views. Today, visitors are not permitted to actually walk along the bridge, with signs posted to prevent any tourists from doing so. It has been closed for preservation purposes. Lastly, let's look at Old Castle ruins in Sintra, Portugal. Sintra is a little town located at the foothills of Lisbon, Portugal. Strolling has a storybook atmosphere. The town is located by small bodies of water that are home to lush forests with overgrown flora, providing a peaceful ambience. In the middle of towering trees of the forest are the ruins of an old castle found along the shore of the lake. Bright green moss sprawls over what's left of the old castle. The entire vicinity has an enchanting aura deep in the middle of the woods. Imagine just staying at this place without your phone. Will you be able to do it? That's all for today. And guys, if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe and hit the notification bell so that anytime I post something new, you'll be notified. Which of those beautiful 10 places do you find most amazing and spectacular? Which one will be your number 1 place to go to?